Okay, what I wanted to do was just show you a couple little tips and tricks within Repl.it. So first of all, I know some of you said the other day that the link I posted for the Repl.it, the computer science FRQs wasn't working. And if you just go on Google and just type in Repl.it AP CSA, you'll be able to get to the link. You can also go to this link and bookmark this link, and that will take you directly there as well. One thing that I had done was I clicked on this Take and Learn, and if I click on it again, it's going to tell me I can't because I'm already taking this classroom. But because I had done that, when I go into Repl.it, it shows up for me as something that I am a student of. So if I click on Students, because I'm a student in this class that another teacher set up, I can see all of the different classrooms that I have joined. And so these are things that I have self-enrolled. Now, I just tried creating a dummy account and self-enrolling to test this for you guys, and it didn't show up right away. So I don't know how it's going to look on your end, but this is how it looks on my end. What I can say is that regardless, you can still get to these FRQ problems through that link that I just posted. Now, once you're in here and you're in this classroom, one thing that I want to mention that you can do is, let's say I had gone ahead and done this word pair program, which we had done the day before. And I had my program and I had typed in my solution, and I had my solution here. Actually, this one is empty. Apparently this is not the one that I had done. There's a couple things that you can do here. So first of all, you can run your code, and in this case, since this one does not have my solution, it's going to give me an error. You can also click on this submit button up here, and by clicking on this submit button, it's going to tell you if the tests passed or failed. So this is a quick way to see if your code does work. In this case, clearly because my code is empty, it didn't work. And then another thing that you can do is you can click on this export to Repl.it. And what this will do is this will take your code that you had and it will save a copy of it to your working Repl.it directory. And the nice thing about this is it saves your work that you had. So for example, I had typed work in here yesterday and the work that I had done is not in here, which is unfortunate. If I had done export to Repl.it, then that work would have been there. If I go back into Repl.it and click on my REPLs, which is what I see right here, I can see my solution for 2017 digit that I just did a few minutes ago. And if I click on this, this is a copy of the solution that I had typed into that classroom that I had. And if I go ahead and I run my code, I can see it run through and I can see that the code does in fact work as intended. And so this is a way that as you're working in that other classroom that another teacher set up as a way of testing your code, you can now save a copy in your own personal directory that you will always have forever and ever, even if for some reason that external directory goes away. Couple other things that I wanted to point out just in terms of working within this space. I know a few people commented that when they're working in the iPad, they don't have as much space to type, and I can definitely see how that would be annoying. I've been doing all of my work on the computer, so I haven't played around with it as much on the iPad. I will play around with that today to get some pointers for you guys, but I can tell you that if we these are all drag and sliders to make this bigger, to give yourself some more room. If you click on all of these, they will give you more room within the panes to give you more typing space, so that might be helpful. You can also click on that here, open this up in a new tab. So that put my run spot in a new tab so that I could see it bigger as opposed to being in the same space where I was. That might be useful for you. And I know when I was in the other coding environment, when I was as a student, so let me click back over there. When I was in the student space and I was in here, so let me just select, let's say I clicked on this step tracker one. When I was in here, this option right here, focus, allows me to make this coding panel take up the whole space. So that makes that a little bit wider, which also gives me more space that I can go ahead and type. And then these two things down here, this is just going to clear my output window. This here I can use to make this smaller. There's also this right here which allows me to download code, which I think would not be something you'd be using on the iPad. Again, I don't know how easy it is to manipulate those windows within the iPad, but hopefully that does help a little bit. And if you are working on the iPad and you found some tips to make it more useful for you, feel free to send those to me or post them on the discussion board, because they might be able to help one of your peers who's been struggling in iPad view. So overall, feel free. You can absolutely use this in Eclipse. What I'm going to try to do for the future ones that I will post for you guys is I will take the starter code that's in this Repl.it and I will post that in Eclipse, or in the folder on Schoology. So for example, if you look at the way that I have our assignments set up, I made some modifications last night when I heard that there were issues with the Repl.it materials. So if you go in here, you'll see, for example, in the code for today that I made a folder that has the Java code. So if you, I thought I did. Did I not put it in there? Oh goodness. Well, this is what happens when you're trying to do 10 things at once. Such is my life. Let me just drag that in there for you. There we go. So the starter code will be in there. So that's how I'll set it up for now on. So each time we have one of these, we'll have our instructions. I'll have the PDF that you can download. I have the discussion where you can post how you did. I'll have this doc where you can put your pictures and your solutions. And this is essentially a spot for you to keep track of how you are doing, your initial file, your working file, and then a spot for you to analyze. And I want you to be doing this so that you can keep track of where you are going wrong. And then these are the answers from the AP board. One of the things you'll find is that the solutions from the AP board are often very concise, and by reading over these solutions, this will help you hopefully write more concise solutions. But you will also see that they are not the only solutions that work. And each time we have one of these problems, I will host an optional Zoom session where I can answer questions that you might have on your solutions. We can do some screen sharing and just talk about other ways to solve the problem. All right, hopefully this helped answer some questions you're having, and miss you guys and hope I get to see you soon. All right, have a good day.